free media law. Can you tell me what you mean by eat the rich? Is that supposed to be figurative?
Well, it's from a French philosopher pre-French Revolution, so research that and you'll know what I mean.
Okay.
If you don't know what I'm talking.
Sure. So when you say feed the poor, what do you think?
Feed the poor. Well, $4 trillion is the war deficit that we've run up so far, and Wall Street got its bailout, and they were actually making bigger bonuses than they've ever made before. And meanwhile, social services are getting cut back. Meanwhile, there's veterans that come back from Iraq and Afghanistan that are sleeping in tents and in sleeping bags in the woods across America because they don't have any opportunity for education, they don't have any opportunity for a job.
So who do you hold responsible for what's going on?
The banking industry and the government industry. The banking industry is the government of America now. Obama is just a mascot for the corporations. We don't have a presidency. We don't have a democracy.
So you're against President Obama and his administration?
I'm against Republican and Democrats because they only serve to serve themselves and not the people.
So politically, do you support a different party or what?
Right now I'm not supporting anybody because there's a combination of all the people across America that are unifying together and holding to discussion, not reaction, where we want the future of the country to go for the future generations down the line. The crumbs for the family keep getting smaller and smaller, from my grandfather to my father to me to my children. Opportunities getting smaller for housing, for employment, for education, for medicine. Meanwhile, we can fund an empire across the globe whose only purpose is to rape and pillage the resources of people of color across the globe.
So the goal of the U.S. is to steal the resources across the globe?
It's always been stealing something. If it wasn't stealing people to be slaves, it's been going across the globe in order to feed its empire and to feed its coffers on the backs of somebody else.
So
this is not a humanity-friendly country. It's never been, and it never will be unless people change the direction of it.
So
you unfortunately ask these questions because you grew up in a privileged white life. And so for you cannot imagine what other people are going through, people of color.
Good.
You've never sat at their table, you've never been at their house, you've never struggled with them. So for you, it's as foreign as something going on in a foreign country, but it's going on in your own country.
What about yourself?
What do you mean, what about myself?
You said I'm privileged.
I've slept with the poor. I've slept in the ghetto. I break bread with all the brothers on the planet. I'm not just a hypocrite talking shit. I've actually broken bread and sat at the tables and listened to them cry and gave them hugs.
You know I came up in a privileged background.
No, I didn't say you came up in privilege. Being white, you have been afforded privilege. To deny that is to lie.
I've never suffered.
Now we can ask some of these gentlemen of color here whether they've had the same liberties in life that you
know my background. I could have never suffered.
I didn't say you've never suffered. I said the reason you're asking that.
But I could have never suffered like a black man. That's what you're implying.
Like a minority.
Or I could have never suffered like a minority. That's what you just said.
Free the civil rights movement.
How could you know
that?
Whites
always were afforded a different privilege.
How could you know that without knowing my personal background?
Because you're my age. I'm 50 years old. You're around 50 years old.
Not quite.
So I grew up through the Martin Luther King getting assassinated, Kennedy, my mom being able to get a job.
Well, you're a little older than me, but.
And I know through my own life,
but you were
me a certain privilege over people of color.
Sure,
it's an undeniable fact.
To an extent, but without knowing somebody's personal background.
We all suffer in some realm or another, if you want to get philosophical.
Well, I'm not talking necessarily philosophical. I don't have a privileged background in that manner. But how do you advocate fixing what's going on? What do you advocate?
1% needs to pay. First off, the corporations and 1% need to pay their fair share.
So what about this governmental system that we have built up? We have the HHS, Health and Human Services. We have Department of Energy, Department of Transportation, Department of Agriculture.
It's a joke.
All these government agencies.
It's a joke. It feeds its self-serving. It's self-serving entity. It's just like Rome in its final days. It was a self-serving entity. The American Empire, the British Empire, you can study any empire and see how they became self-serving, regardless of what their initial goal was. It's a beast, it's a machine. You know, right now we're like 10 years of one war in Afghanistan. No one's life in Afghanistan has been improved. Our safety, our freedom has been diminished. We're not any safer today, trillions of dollars later, than we were 9/11, the day of 9/11. We're not any safer.
Well, most people think we are.
They think we are, but if we are, then why do we need people like, we've lost our, we can get our phones tapped, we can get searched at any time, probable cause has been thrown out the window. If we're really that safe and secure, then how comes the freedoms before 9/11 are no longer existent?
But isn't our government responsible for what's going on? When you say the bankers,
in America, the people are the government.
The ire is aimed at the bankers. When the power, the seat of our government is down here, why the occupation isn't going on in front of the White House or in front of Congress instead of over here?
Pardon me?
Why the occupation isn't going on in front of Congress or in front of the White House instead of over here next to the taste of D.C.?
Well, this was planned way before that.
Just saying, metaphorically, why it isn't going on at the seat of our government?
They'll get thrown out. This is mostly right here is just a show. It's a
diversion.
It's symbolic.
It's a diversion.
No, it's not a
it should be held in front of the Federal Reserve. The Federal Reserve can print unlimited amounts of money to finance our government doing whatever they want.
And that's what our brothers and sisters in Wall Street are doing.
It's the Federal. You heard of the Federal Reserve? It's not called Wall Street. It's called the Federal Reserve.
The Federal Reserve.
The Federal Reserve is a real government agency. But these people here, if you said, "Oh, we're going to,"
the Federal Reserve isn't even part of the government. It's not even.
The Federal Reserve is quasi-public, and Congress can do away with the Federal Reserve anytime they want. But would you sit in front of the Federal Reserve instead of here? Would you do that?
I sit wherever I want to sit.
But would you do it?
Yeah, I protest all over D.C. for years.
It's not going on in front of the Federal Reserve. It's going on here.
Because those people are afraid to be arrested. Where I've been arrested before, I'm not afraid of it. I don't fear having that on me, standing up for my rights as cause. This is symbolic. This will be gone tomorrow. The people over in Farragut on K Street, where the lobbyists are, they'll be there, McPherson Square. The people in Wall Street in New York, they'll still be there.
If you want real change, they would be in front of the Federal Reserve protesting. This is all a diversion.
I don't know what they're doing.
The government's printing money.
I'm here.
The government is printing money.
Pointing out the irony of the food fest with the war fest.
Right. This is the 99. This is the 1% here, Washington.
It's not really the 1%, but
Washington is the 1%. Washington is the 1%. Washington profits every day from what's going on. The rest of the country is the 99%. The 1% is right here, the Washington D.C. area.
In New York.
So who are you from?
Well,
freemedialive.com.
You don't have to tell me, you know, if people across the country are getting their lives slashed, cut. I live over in Roslyn where the military industrial complex is, and high rises are being built, like $2,500 a month high rises are going up. Like,
and how was that paid for?
So you're from that
billions of
organization?
It's all, everything's relative.
Your dad?
Everything's related.
Your dad's a lawyer?
That's why you can't say one
Huh?
answer.
What'd you say?
I said my dad's a vlogger.
Everything's relative.
Right. It has to be financed somehow.
he
All
a
the
political
building is still
blogger?
going on. The rest of the country is suffering,
kind of political
but all the building is still going on in
we
the
stand for Ron
Washington,
Paul.
D.C. area. Why?
That's awesome.
Because this is
I'm
the
Ron Paul.
1%.
They're the crowd.
Yeah, this is the 1%. We're financing. The government finances the Washington, D.C. area.
There's like, I saw a Ron Paul sign over there. No, they don't have a booth here.
Anybody who lives in the Washington, D.C. area, in one way or the other, is probably part of the 1%.
You're a Ron Paul supporter?
Sure am.
All right. I haven't found you guys here. There's no.
Except
I
for
can't
me,
find a booth.
I haven't worked in 10 years because I don't want a penny of my money.
So, what exactly? What's the problem with this?
You can ask my wife about that. She'll back me up.
I believe
And
it.
she works for the homeless and takes care of the mental ill.
Sure.
So we're not, we live here, but we're not the 1%. We take care of the 99%.
Well, I'm just saying figuratively somehow.
Oh yeah, that's why
Somehow the money from the.
they're not going to jump the fence and come
No,
on this side
no,
because
they're
then they'll be taking a stand against their whole identity and their career.
Right, they're not coming over here. They're not. They're not. So in that way, the 1% is right here in front of us, the Washington, D.C. area overall.
You're right, though. The Washington, D.C., this general area is one of the more upper class places in the.
Absolutely.
I mean,
But if you go down and ask them, are you a 1%er or a 99er? Oh, I'm a 99er.
oh
They
yeah.
want to be a one.
But anybody who lives here in one way or the other is probably profiting off of the 1%.
So you're a Ron Paul supporter?
Yeah.
So,
You
why
take
are
care.
here anyway?
Film.
I didn't mean to come
Yeah.
off strong. I'm just in that
That's okay.
mode.
Yeah, it's okay.
You know what I mean? It's hard
You're
to
an
shift
expert on
gears.
Ron Paul.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming out.
Sure. Thanks for yeah.
So
thank you.
what's the main problem with this movement? I mean, they're trying to be the Tea Party of the left, but
Yeah, exactly.
I've looked through this whole area, and it's the same people that came out in 2006 to protest the war. It's just a bunch of
Feed the poor, eat
Yeah,
the rich.
well, most of them.
Feed
I mean, the anti-war movement died when President Obama was elected.
Oh yeah, totally.
I don't know if you're from the Washington D.C. area.
I'm from Northern Virginia, so yeah.
Okay, so if you recall, during the Bush administration, there were constant protests against the war in Iraq, the war in Afghanistan,
Oh, yeah.
against Guantanamo Bay.
Yeah.
But as soon as President Obama was elected, they all hid. President Obama, he's fine, even though he has sent more troops into Afghanistan. Guantanamo Bay is still open. Drone strikes in Pakistan, Yemen, etc. It's all still going on, but the left is so silent. The protests are gone.
Only the really fringing left. They're the only ones that are left.
Here's a group here I found. They have a banner showing President Bush and President Obama on it, both as war criminals.
Yeah.
I was in shock.
You were in shock.
I was in shock to see that. Because most on the left wing, they won't come out against President Obama. They're for President Obama. Even though the Obama administration is staffed by Wall Street people.
So you're a blogger for Ron Paul?
Yeah.
Yeah, do you have a business card or anything?
I don't have a business card with you. Go to freemedialive.com.
I'm trying to form a Ron Paul chapter at my college, but it's kind of difficult. We really have
What college are you going to?
Nova Annandale,
Nova Annandale?
Northern Virginia Community College, Annandale campus.
Okay.